should we be worried? Let's talk about all these things. People that want to attack Bitcoin, they don't quite know what to do. That's why they're attacking companies that are publicly traded, to be specific, to try to cause FUD and try to indirectly attack Bitcoin. But it's not really working. And that is why some feel like Bitcoin could be as high as 100,000 by this year. When I first read this, I'm like, yeah, 100,000. Yeah, of course, Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000. But then I reread this article, and these guys, they asked, think that it can hit 100,000 this year. Not next year, not the year after that, not during our parabolic year, this year. Because many truly believe what Bitcoin is all about. And if you truly understand what money is all about and how it's being run by the Fed and by the banks, well, that, you just know that this is the way. There's really nothing else that's better. And really, I don't even know what else you could park your money in and expect it to appreciate and outperform inflation over the next, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. I don't know what else you could put your money in that could do that besides Bitcoin, right? So that is why Bitcoin is unfazed right now and still looking strong. And even though these companies that are being attacked are selling off majorly, you know what? Bitcoin is still Bitcoin and doing its thing and about to head higher. And here's something else that's very positive. I talked about Bitcoin miners, right? The fees that the miners are collecting are growing. They're positive. And whenever that happens, good things happen with Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin is the only crypto where the price trails the hash rate. So think about that for a second. The only crypto where the price trails the hash rate, meaning the hash rate continues to go higher. And whenever the miners become very profitable, well, that means better things. That means some of them actually buy Bitcoin, so they want to hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Plus, they're mining Bitcoin and they're holding all of that, right? But take a look. You could barely see it, but on the very right side, we're going from blue to red, right? That shows profitability of the miners. And whenever miners turn profitable, Bitcoin goes up in a major way. And look at the previous 2 cycles when Bitcoin went wild, right? Good things happen. But also, I mentioned about Bitcoin mining overall, how some states are very pro Bitcoin miners. Here's a bill that was introduced to Congress, and this talks about the importance of proof-of-work mining used for certain cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin to the United States' ability to achieve its energy goals and grow its economy. Wow. You definitely have a lot of Congress people that do believe in Bitcoin and recognize the importance of Bitcoin mining. Because Bitcoin mining allows the places they operate at to improve their energy grid, to become more efficient, to grow, along with implementing new innovations. I mean, actually, the places that support Bitcoin miners, they love it. They love it. They get their revenue and they get to increase their efficiency and increase their power output overall. And overall, it's a win-win for everyone, right? And that's why there's a new bill being introduced. I don't know if it's going to be passed, but there are definitely a lot of people that are favorable to bring on more Bitcoin miners into this country. So that's also very, very positive. What else is positive? Well, like I said, Bitcoin is still holding strong, right? Unfazed by the attacks so far. And we're still following the same pattern as 2019 when we were breaking up from bottom. And we're at that point where we could certainly break out to 40 or 50,000 by June if we're following the same pattern that we did back in 2019, right? So it's still looking very, very similar and very positive. And of course, the fundamentals, unfazed by the attacks, still extremely strong. Hodled or lost coins reaches a 5-year high of 7.7 million. 7.7 million out of 19. That's almost half, right? That's almost half. And some argue that those are just lost coins, ones that are gone forever, counts that belong to people who have lost their keys or have passed away. So you could argue out of the 19.5 million, maybe 7.7 million are gone forever. And if you think about that, well, then the number of Bitcoins left out there, the percentage is so tiny, so tiny. So fundamentals, unfazed. Number of people holding at least 0.01 Bitcoin. All-time high at 12 million addresses, right? So fundamentals still looking pretty darn good. So Bitcoin unfazed, still ready to rock. Yesterday we had a setback, and today we're getting more setbacks because of some vicious attacks, but Bitcoin does not care. You can't attack Bitcoin. Bitcoin will continue and do its thing and form a new high, and we're on our way to that. In case you guys care, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this has been verified 100%, fact-checked, but Bankless says that Do Kwon has been arrested in Montenegro. Again, I don't know if this is true. And not that I'm defending Do Kwon. Yes, he did lead a gigantic crypto company to zero. But then how come the CEO of SV Bank or the CEO of all these other failed banks like Signature Bank or, I don't know, First Republic, which is about to go under, or Credit Suisse, or any of these major banks, how come the CEOs of those banks don't go to jail for running their banks to the ground? So why is it when a crypto project gets run to the ground, yes, it's horrible, but they get arrested, but the CEOs of major banks that run them to the ground do not go to jail? How does that work? I don't know. You tell me. Block, which used to be Square, or AKA Square, right, led by Jack Dorsey, who's a big Bitcoin guy. He's been trying to create all these things, a wallet, a miner, and of course he's enabling Lightning Network on the Cash App. He's doing a whole lot of stuff for Bitcoin. Also coming out with a decentralized Twitter. But all of a sudden you have this major short seller company, Hindenburg Research, that announces they put a huge short on Block because Jack Dorsey facilitates fraud. Okay. Really? Out of nowhere, right? And the timing of this, right after SEC goes after Coinbase, right after the banks start showing weakness, right after Bitcoin starts rising up, right now? And really? Are they really committing fraud? I mean, Block is a publicly traded company. They comply with the SEC and banking laws and money transmitting laws. So is this even legit? I mean, I don't want to discount completely. If Jack Dorsey committed fraud, then he committed fraud. But, you know, you put everything together, I think this looks more, the timing of it, right? It's just very particular. I think this is more like a coordinated attack. That's what it sounds and feels like.